I was the first black girl to smoke nyaup in Pretoria. Facts. I was one of the first black girls to do drugs. Drugs was a thing. I did cocaine, I did ecstasy. Do I still dream about, even now, 20 years later, I dream about rock. And that's how people relapse. I know we're blaming Nigerians and Tanzanians for selling, right?
Yeah.
You'll be surprised how many local people are selling now. Even women that go to church on Sunday, that have families, they're selling drugs. They're making that choice to sell drugs. Nyaup is heroin. Let's just put it out there, okay? So my friends, how they would do is they'd go to Bossman, phone the dealer, and the dealer would like sell the bag to them. And then I'm like, okay, now that I'm now smoking it with my white friends, now I'm gonna do this thing solo. Get a dealer's number, and then I start staying with the dealer and stuff like that. And then the dealer will have these girls, and I'm like, so tell me, how do you do all of this? Sadly, they would use our own people to get the drugs from a different country. They would make out as though they want to be in a relationship with you, give you this life that you never thought of, and next thing they have a business proposition for you. I was given the business proposition many times, but I could see through them. Thank God I didn't. But there's a lot of people, a lot of women that fell into the trap of getting the drugs for them and bringing them into South Africa.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How am I? I almost said good automatically. Notice how I said good automatically. Do you really want to know how I am? So this weekend was just a mess for me because usually I go to bed at 9. And somehow the reels is a problem. So I found myself just watching reels until 2 o'clock. And I knew that I had to come here. But I was busy with them reels. And then I got up this morning at 5 and I was washing dishes, cleaning the house. I was busy. Traffic, getting here. So how am I? Tired, but I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. Just need to get off them reels. I was late at night laughing and sending to whoever I think. You know, this reels is a problem.
Very
you do
addictive.
reels?
Very addictive, actually. Yeah, because I also do the same thing sometimes, and I'm like, yo, all of these hours I could be using them to read
Exactly.
the book.
I need to be, I'm a morning person, but I get up with like, hello, like good vibes. But if I don't go to sleep between 9 and 10, I'm done. My brain doesn't function well, so.
Yeah.
But we're here.
You were telling me that you don't drink coffee in the morning?
No, I don't do coffee at all because of my past. So I stay away from stuff that, I don't know, that triggers the nervous system. So I stay away from coffee. I used to drink double espresso when I used to work and hotel management. I used to drink a lot of coffee, so I just don't drink it anymore.
Tell me about yourself. Who are you and where are you from?
My name is Happiness. Wait, but first, before we get to who I am, right? I just need to tell you something that happened to me yesterday because I think who I am is not important.
Okay.
For me, personally. I think the message that I'm trying to bring across today, that's what's important, and who I'm trying to talk about today is what's important. And then later on, I guess I'll let you know who I am. So yesterday, I went to the mall because I had to get stuff for my nephew. I had to get stuff for my nieces and nephew. I don't do malls because I'm an introvert like that. I mean, I walk in malls and I'm wearing shades. So I walked in there and I went into the shop. It was like a Marvel shop. And then as I walked in, there was like this heavy, dark, evil music. You can tell that this person is either into Satanism or whatever. That's the person that was working there. And then I cringed and I had like, you could tell that, no, this is like a dark world, dark spirit and whatever. But I still walked in there because that ain't my home and I'm here to like purchase something from that shop.
Yeah.
And then, so he approached me and I looked at him with complete judgment. Like, where now you're a Satanist, you that white guy that goes around shooting. So I really judged him that he is not a believer. He's just, you can tell he's dark. He's not a people person. But then I said to him, I approached him and I said to him, no, he approached me because he wanted to find out what I wanted to purchase. I'll tell you why the story is so important. With all the judgment that I did to him, right?
Okay.
And then I said to him, oh, this music. And he's like, oh, so he wanted to turn it off. So I said to him, no, it's fine. What's this music all about? So he described it, definitely of the dark world. And then I said, why do you listen to music? But I said it with a very kind spirit, right? I said, why do you listen to this kind of music? He says, no, because I hate people. And he started talking about politics. But he had so much hate in his heart, right? And I was like, okay. And then I said, can I ask you something? Are you an atheist? He says, yes, I am. And I said, what are your thoughts on God? You know, so I didn't want to come across as that Mamfundisi that knows it all. I really approached him with agape love.
Yeah.
Even though he had like, do not talk to me. I do not like you. Even your race color is wrong. So what are you doing talking to me? So I asked him a simple question. So what are your thoughts on God? I can't even like speak of what he thought about God. It was so bad, like what he thought about God. I felt very sad, but I understood. And then I said, why do you speak so bad about God? He says, no, because how can God allow things to happen the way it is happening in the world? That's not the first time that I've heard people say, if there's a God, you know, he's pure, whatever, and then why would we allow things like that to happen in the world? So I try to explain to him from my perspective who I think God is to me. Now, you can tell if someone's not interested, like they've heard this before. So there was customers coming in and it was quite busy. So I said, okay, maybe I should just go. He's like, no, please stay. This is a guy that I had judgment of by his appearance and the things that he's saying. And I just gave him love. I really approached the stranger with love. Anyway, so when I described who God is to me, I said to him, I have a personal relationship with God. I'm not a religious person. I have a relationship with God. And I had an encounter with God, not in the church, but in my traumatic lifestyle and lifestyle experience. And usually it's not people, because when God brought us into this universe, he said, this will be your paradise. And us as humans, we're the one that defiled this thing called paradise. So I said, a lot of people blame God, but if you look deep into it, it's not God. It is us humans. We are not at a good space and we're just hurting each other.
Was he paying attention though?
Dude, on levels. Because I thought, okay, happy, you could be. And he asked me, please stay. I want to hear more about this God. And then I left. He's like, no one's ever explained this to me or spoken to me the way you did.
Wow.
And he was so, so grateful. And he even asked me, I said to him, you know what? The Bible can put you to sleep. Read Psalms 91. He was adamant. We swapped numbers. He showed me scriptures that he was reading.
Please make me understand, because you mentioned the word agape love. For somebody who doesn't understand, what does agape mean? What would you say to them?
Agape love, I think there's all different types of loves. There's filial love, I think, agape love. Agape love is a love of God. So unless someone cannot have that experience of giving agape love unless they've felt that love of God. So because God has loved me so much that I want to give that love to his children. So that's agape love, is loving a person not out of from a lustful place or a motive place, but just simply genuinely loving that person.
Wow.
It's a beautiful thing to have. I've made it in life because of agape love. Does it make sense?
It's God's love.
God's love.
Basically.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, when you mentioned that the guy came into the store, he was playing music, what kind of genre was it?
I went into his store, and it's a Marvel shop.
Okay.
So they have a lot of, it was like a hectic shop where they sell a lot of dark stuff and everything like that. So there's an area that has Marvel, and there's an area that has, like, you can see it's like satanic stuff.
Yeah.
So I was there to like get a Superman shirt for my nephew and whatever. But then when I looked around, as I got in, I realized what shop I was in.
Yeah.
So no, he was definitely playing satanic music. But the fact that he left wanting to know who God is and just feeling loved and cared for, man, that was just, there's a lot of broken people out there. I think if we just be a lot more kinder You know, I always thought because I grew up streets, I was like, I'm not going to love these people. They took advantage of me. I get agape love, but I'm going to build walls. But I guess, you know what, I just think we just need to continue being kind, you know, and stop having the walls of like, yeah, but they're going to have wrong motives. Like, if you are nice to a brother, this brother's going to think you into him. Nigga, you can think that I'm into you. Me, I know I'm giving you agape love. So it's either you're going to play with a situation that's called love between me and you, and we can go places with this. We can build each other up, or you're going to now try and see if it can be a lustful thing. You decide.
Yeah. So you were saying that he was playing satanic music, right? So I'm trying to understand the genre. Is it the rock music? You know, that kind of music whereby it's just a lot of noise. I don't know.
No, you're right. You're right. So where I come from, I don't know if you've seen this movie Trainspotting.
No.
Trainspotting's a hectic movie. There's different types of rock. There's like death metal, like death. Kamakoa is like death metal that has a lot of dark satanic words.
Is it the one that
it.
they would play and then they'll smash the guitars on the floor? Okay,
yes.
I
There's
see.
punk rock, I used to listen to a lot of punk rock, you know, music, pothole, it's a thing, you know. So I listen to a lot of hip hop as well, but I had to like ask God, you know, now that I'm in God, like, God, you know, I used to listen to like punk rock. I used to listen to hip hop. So what are we doing now in terms of music? So yeah, I could relate because that's the kind of music that I was surrounded. I had people that used to listen to that kind of music before. So I knew immediately that it was satanic. So it's like, it's death metal, you know? Yeah. And I see how black folk is trying to tap into that world. Hey,
Is it?
I'm telling you.
I didn't know this.
No, they're trying to tap. They're wearing black and punks and head banging and tapping into that world.
Do you think they're aware, though, of what they're trying to do, though?
That's the thing. A lot of the situation that's happening now in Africa and South Africa is that we're just a bunch of copycats. That anything that's westernized,
Just
we're
copy.
like, that's the way, you know? I said I like hip-hop. I like hip-hop because I'm street, but I'm not going to copy everything that's from America. I'm going to mix of who we are and just mix the good. Just mix the good. I'm not saying it's bad to take anything from anywhere, but just mix the good. Take the good from it and not the bad. So what's happening to the African child is that we're just seeing everything from that Western life and we're like, this is it. Let's flow with that. So to answer your question, there are people that's getting into punk rock now, are people. And yeah, they have no idea what potholes they're opening.
Somebody was telling me that also hip-hop has a little bit of some evil inside there. I mean,
it has a lot of evil inside of it because if you think about it, what do they rap about? It's so boring now. It puts me to sleep. So just to talk about the hip-hop game, I grew up in Pretoria, right? Like hip-hop was dead in Pretoria. And I just want to tell the youth also because I mean, just the other day, I was a young lady. People just think, I mean, you know, life is we just live. Just the other day, I was a young lady in them clubs. Now I'm having people calling me mama, calling me auntie happy, calling me aus happy. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Just the other day, I was a young lady in them clubs in the 90s. So I just want to say that the youth, you think you have a lot of time in this world. I mean, I'm at a time where, you know, a lot of people don't embrace it. They're like, how can you call me grootman? How can you call me mama? Hello. Like, it's like, yes, that's who you are. Embrace the age. Embrace it. So I love it when they call me this because they see wisdom in me. You know, there's a lot of women that want to stay young. You know what I mean? They're dating younger kids, poor kids that are living in poor environments. And now it's a thing now where they are dating older women just to survive. It's awful. But just to get back to hip hop, I can speak about in Pretoria. It was completely dead when I was coming up. And there was one guy that was pushing hip hop. That's my late brother, Knowledge, and a white guy. His name was AK. This guy was pushing hip hop in the alien, because I know you guys think about, like, let's just say the South African Drake and Wayne, then you guys think about, I don't know what.
Casper.
Exactly. I'm talking
AKA,
about way before that. It's like your Ice-T. I don't know if you know who Ice-T is. That's before Tupac and Biggie and them.
Imagine, that's in the 90s.
Yes, that's the world that I grew up in Pretoria, when hip-hop was dead. No one was talking about hip-hop. There was only Kwaito that was happening, okay? And then so this guy called AK was pushing the game, and my brother Knowledge, he was pushing the hip-hop music. But if you listen to the lyrics then, it was pure streets and survival and talking about like the struggles. If you listen to the hip-hop now, it's horrible. It's horrible. They really talk about nothing. And there's some that are truly gifted that you're like, okay, this is hip-hop. But lately, it's just watered down.
Which side of Pretoria? Is it Mamelodi or Soshanguve?
Okay, can I just give you the foundation of how Pretoria used to be? Because, the kids now, they just remember Boma 2000, kids that grew up, that were born in the 90s. They came into the new South Africa where it was fine for a black woman to smoke cigarettes in the street. That was fine, right? When I was coming up, that wasn't fine for a black woman to be smoking cigarettes. Kids now, they when you're born into mothers that's doing drugs, fathers that's doing drugs. There's already drugs. There's already the same sex. When I was coming up, there was gays was not a thing.
Okay.
Was not a thing. Hip hop was not a thing. So, just to give you a background, I grew up in CBD.
Okay.
Sunnyside. And we happen to be, just picture this. We happen to, I don't know when last you were in Sunnyside. I grew up, I was one of the first black people to move in Sunnyside.
And this was the time whereby there were not a lot of Nigerians, foreign nationals.
No.
It was just the pure, clean Sunnyside.
It was beautiful. This white people were taking care of themselves. Sunnyside, I used to walk around Sunnyside 3 a.m., 2 a.m. I used to go from Schubert Park to Sunnyside. Just, we get up and we walk. The white folk, I'm not going to lie to you, they were taking care of their own. So that's when I grew up. And then, so then we moved to Schubert Park Flats. I don't know if you know where that is. That don't exist anymore. It's by Paul Kruger Square. So
Did they demolish it?
It's been demolished because it was just run down.
Okay.
So drugs was never a thing in Pretoria. Never a thing in the black community. No, it's not nyaope. I was the first black girl to smoke nyaope in Pretoria. Facts. Prove me wrong. I was one of the first black girls to do drugs. Pitori thumilege na brayaka. Pitori thumilege na facts. People that know me can tell you. I dropped out of school. I've never been to school. I dropped out of standard 6. What is it? Grade 7.
Yeah, I think so.
I dropped out of school and I got addicted to drugs. And these Nigerians and Tanzanians were selling it to white folk. So just to give you a bit of background, my youngest ages, I was staying in Attridgeville. Sweet girl, no problem. I come from parents, very strict parents, very beautiful background. My mom's amazing. We were brought up with a beautiful background, morals, principle. And the reason why I lost it and decided to, strata, not a street kid, I just love them streets. Because my mom worked 7 days a week and my father, he was from exile. He had to hustle himself. So I was left to my own demise a lot. Because my father was from exile, from Attridgeville, we stayed there, I think, for 2 years. I went to a lot of schools in Attridgeville. And then my dad said, okay, let's go to like a school in Lodium. Again, there weren't black people. I was the first black kid in my class. I was the only black kid in Lodium.
When was this?
This was early 90s.
Okay.
That's not long ago. So that's why when people think that I need to know how polluted Pretoria became. and how polluted Johannesburg became, because this was not long time ago. This was in the early 90s. Again, can you see that there was not a lot of mixed race happening? Because I was, again, the first black pupil in Lodium. Lodium, they were taking care of their own, but I've always been the child to go where the danger is. I remember there was a place called White Blocks.
No, I don't know it.
White Blocks was like I think the less privileged Indian people that lived there. And I was like, I want to go there, because there was this gang called the Sponono Boys. And I was like, I want to meet. And this, I'm like 7 years old, 6 years old.
Yeah.
My mind is already like, it wants to be in that world, you know. So I said, no, let me go check out the Sponono Boys at the White Blocks. That was just my mind. And I just, you know, I got into so many fights, like physical fights, when I was staying in Atteridgeville, just because, you know, that's just the life that I was in and what I chose. And then my father moved us to the city, Sunnyside, and we were one of the first black families to live in Sunnyside.
Wow.
And that's when the trouble started for me, because imagine being a young girl of color, and now you're living in Sunnyside and you have to adapt. So my friends already were starting with the drugs, my white friends. No black folk was, because the thing is that, yes, there were black kids in the white schools, but they were still living in the Kasi. Navana Atteridgeville, Mamelodi, Shoshanguve, they came with a combi into the city. I was living with them. So already this is when apartheid is ending. Imagine now, you know what happened during apartheid. Now we coming in. Imagine what thick skin I had to have.
Sure.
To like say, okay, so it's true. They are coming in now, you know. They are starting to live with us. So I had to adapt their ways, you know. Drugs was a thing. So I started getting involved in a lot of ecstasy, and I did a lot of drugs. So, yeah, and that, but funny enough, I had the morals and discipline to keep myself working. Like I said, you know, I dropped out of school, but immediately I started working for a few restaurants. And yeah, and then that's when I met that guy that I'm telling you about, AK. He's the one that was moving the hip-hop movement. Then we started getting involved with hip-hop. Then there was guys from the Kasi coming into the city. So AK was actually the one pushing hip-hop in and my brother Knowledge.
Did you guys have like a
clique?
Or maybe you guys used to roll individually?
No, it was a whole clique.
Okay.
It was a whole clique, but he was pushing the whole hip-hop genre. So, yeah, I got involved so I started working for many years. I had my own flat in Arcadia, Negana Savoy Courts. So in terms of responsibility and taking care of myself financially, I didn't go for a man for like money. When I did the drugs, I didn't prostitute myself. I just got involved in the like the gangster life of things. So these eyes has really seen a lot of things in that world. And then I left. I moved to Durban because I thought, okay, the drugs they're killing me. They're destroying me. I mean, it was, you know, just moving into the clubs and being the only black girl at the clubs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're going to, rave was a big thing back then. Like rave, ecstasy was a big thing. And black folk was just not doing drugs.
Was there cocaine?
Yeah, there was cocaine. I did ecstasy.
I'm sure weed was like the least. Weed was just the least.
Yeah, it was. But I'm just telling you how quickly the drugs ran back into the black community.
Yeah.
So it was like a year or two that I was moving solo. Like I can see, okay, this drug world is just me and the whites, right? Didn't see any of my people.
Yeah.
I went to Durban to try and stop this nonsense. Nah, happy, you need to get your life in check. And then when I came back, Sunnyside was a different world. This is 98. And I remember it was so white. Pretoria was so white. And I did all the clubs in Pretoria. And the first time I saw a black DJ was DJ Fresh. And I think this was 98. And he was in a club. And this was the first time I saw a man of color, like, hitting the clubs. But it was obviously white folk that was dancing to his music there. And I was like, okay, it's happening. Like our people are coming up now. And then, yeah, hip-hop just started growing. But then I used to go to this club called Truth, and it was just white folk with the drugs. Next thing, when I came back from Durban, 2 years later, the whole place was painted with our people. And guess what? So you say, okay, I get it. We got our freedom, but what did we get our freedom for? Because when I came back remember when I left, it was just white. That's all I knew. White. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know the things that, I don't want to make it a race thing, but that's the reality. When I stayed in Pretoria was beautiful. When I came back, everything was run down. The flats, I couldn't recognize the flats anymore. The white folk, all my friends that I grew up with all moved to New Zealand and I don't know where else out of the country. And it was just our black folk that were moving in. Sherwood Park had to be brought down because it was just getting worse. All the office buildings, I know my dad had a few offices there in Central. I couldn't recognize the place. It was just packed with Nigerians and Tanzanians. All the beautiful girls that I knew that used to judge me for doing drugs and smoking. And I was always different. Like, even people always knew at school, like, she's different. Now you just see it's trapped the whole of our black society. Girls are doing drugs, crack cocaine. Kids are in the streets big time. So I'm just saying that the youth just need to, they need to give themselves grace. And because sometimes I think I'm like, Happy, why were you in the streets so much? You had a good family. Why did you go to the streets and just have that drug life and live that crazy life that you did in the streets? It's like, okay, poverty. But to what level is poverty? Because you had cabbage, you had mealie meal, okay, Happy? But it's easier said and done for you. Try me that lives in a shack and I need work. But I'm going to town to try and look for work. I come back, there is no work. I'm going to drink my sorrows away. I'm going to drug my sorrows away. If I had to turn back time, could I have survived living maybe in a shack? I think you just need to, because I'm saying this as someone that's lived it, give yourself grace not to look at other people's greener pastures. If you live in a shack, live in that shack. Don't go and drink alcohol because of your circumstances. It's not going to change the circumstance. I just think find your situation in the day. Instead of me meeting up with my friends and going and rodauna, maybe robeta 5 beers just to forget our problems, dude, just stay in that house. Give yourself grace, because don't try and live in a situation where you think that, okay, I'm just going to numb it with drugs because there are other people that don't even have that cabbage. At least you've got the cabbage. So always look at the brighter side of things and try and get out of your situation without bringing darkness into your thought patterns.
I'm trying to understand the mindset that you had back then. I mean, you were smoking drugs. Did you have some sort of goals, or maybe saw yourself as a doctor or an engineer at the time?
I always wanted to be a vet.
Okay.
Again, that was weird for a black kid to want to be a vet back then. But because I left out a part where when we moved to the suburbs, I did get sexually abused. I was molested for a very long time by a white counterpart. Guys, I'm not making it a race thing. That's just what happened to me. And I think that's where the trouble started, because of what happened to me.
Yeah.
What happened to me as a kid, it is what it is. I don't question what happened to me. A lot of things that I'm not really sharing happened to me as a kid. I lived a million lives. So I was sexually abused. I was I don't want to say physically abused. Black parents, they're going to beat you up. I was beaten up as a kid that I landed up in hospital by my father.
Serious?
But he was so what? That's what happens. It is what it is. My father was the most beautiful man there was. He was a force to be reckoned with. But again, I was brought up military style. I have a lot of siblings I have a lot of brothers. So, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of us barabetile, honestly. You'd go to school like your back is swollen.
Is it the right thing to do? No, it's not.
Yeah.
But this is what was given to me, the cards that was given to me. So already my childhood was extremely traumatic. And that's why I went outside seeking and got lost in the midst of it. But the beautiful thing about all of it, I mean, I started using drugs for a very long time. I started when I was 11, and I stopped when I was 24, and I gave my life to God, which means I've been clean, sober. Like, I get downy. I don't do drugs. I work out a lot. I've been born again 20 years now. I gave my life to God 2007.
Wow.
And I told you I don't have like a school education. I don't have, but I promise you, because of me being loved, like God has favored me beyond human understanding. Like I'm living proper just because I've given my life to God and I trusted God for. Yeah, I was in big mess, like big mess.
Tell me, who introduced you to drugs? Maybe the first smoking. I don't know what you smoked. Probably maybe you smoked weed or maybe, I'm not sure. But who introduced you? So
I've always been an old soul. You know what an old soul is? It's like like when I was 11 years old, I was hanging around with like 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. These guys come out of New York. They gangsters, they car hijackers, they drug lords. I was always into the danger zone. So when I was 12, 11, 13, I would see them there. I just looked older than what I was. You know, I dressed up. I just had the gift of the gab, and I was just way matured beyond my age. And I'd hang out with them, and I introduced myself to the drugs. Gave, you know what I mean? What's happening? Let's go, you know? So, and I did a lot of drugs because also this movie Trainspotting, where I stayed at Schubert Park, was very like your middle-class white people. So they type of drugs was like man drugs, buttons. That's like your low-grade drugs.
Yeah.
That's like another life that I was living. And then I worked in like Menlyn, and those people there, Ferry Glen, you know, they use like your upper-class drugs, if there's such a thing, like cocaine and ecstasy and stuff. So I would always be in those spaces. I introduced myself. You as a 30-year-old, I'll introduce you to the drugs, you know. So I really introduced myself to drugs.
Who was selling the drugs back then?
My friends. And they would want me to sell the drugs, and I would never do that. I would use the drugs, take the drugs.
How does the drugs come into Pretoria? It's not like maybe somebody just created them in a lab or somewhere in Pretoria in a basement. But how do the drugs get into Pretoria? Then from town, get into the, township?
I had a lot of my female friends. So sad, man, that before it was, I know we're blaming Nigerians and Tanzanians for selling, right?
Yeah.
You'll be surprised how many local people are selling now. Even women that go to church on Sunday, that have families, they're selling drugs. They're making that choice to sell drugs. So back in the day when I was coming up, when the drugs were only sold to white people, I remember, Nyaupe is heroin. Let's just put it out there, okay? So my friends, rich white kids, they're like, how they would do is they'd go to Bossman, phone the dealer, and the dealer would like sell the bag to them. And then I'm like, okay, now that I'm now smoking it with my white friends, now I'm going to do this thing solo. Get a dealer's number, and then I start staying with the dealer and stuff like that. And then the dealer will have these girls, and I'm like, so tell me, how do you do all of this? Sadly, they would use our own people to get the drugs from a different country. So it's either, there's a name for it, I can't think about it now. So they would get drugs from wherever country they're getting it from, and they would ask women, like they would court you, not even court, they would make out as though they want to be in a relationship with you, give you this life that you never thought of, and next thing they have a business proposition for you. I was given the business proposition many times, but I could see through them. Thank God I didn't. But there's a lot of people, a lot of women that fell into the trap of getting the drugs for them and bringing them into South Africa. That's why when I went to Durban and I thought, okay, I'm running away from Pretoria, that's where the harbor, the ships are, that's where they come in. So there's many ways that they bring them in, and it's just spreading out into the townships.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, when you're saying that they would just bring a proposition to you and say, look, oh, Happy, I like you, you're a very beautiful lady. I've got something for you. Don't you want to make 50,000 once off?
First of all, they're not going to come to me and say, you're a very beautiful lady. They better put respect on my name. That's the thing about women, and that's what I'm saying. If you want to go to the streets, you got to be ready for it. So they were all scared of me because I had some thug in me. So I had to decide, because once you show your softness, they're going to take advantage of you. You know what I mean? So I had to I had the gift of the gab. I had to toughen up. So they wouldn't come at me with that, but they would propose. But sadly, how they trap the woman, and it could be a normal, it's not someone that's using. It's just someone that they met at the club or somewhere, beautiful lady that's studying to be a doctor or a lawyer. Next thing you see, she gets trapped, she gets caught at the airport for transporting those things. Yeah. So I always declined because I was a menace to myself. I had a troubled childhood and I was just numbing it by taking drugs, but I wouldn't want to go give drugs to someone else. Or I was left to my own demise, and I was just hurting myself because of my childhood. But to answer your question, that's what they do to these ladies. They say, look, we first, buy you this, flash money, give you money, and now you got to do something for us. And they do it. Then they get arrested. Then you hear I was in prison in Brazil. I was in prison wherever, these places that they go to. Yeah, it's a sad world, man. I just think right now the world is doing a lot. There's so much, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and we just need to sober up. There's this guy, I just need to get his name again, Theo Vaughn, some white guy, man. His podcast is not for my ears. No, it's not. But he said something about, I need a new story in my life, because your trauma can be so manipulative to you choosing the wrong direction. How deep is that? Your trauma can manipulate your mind to choose the wrong direction. So if you give your life to God, we still go through stuff, but I think if you have God on your side, at least you won't let your trauma manipulate to just sleep with whoever you want, because you want that love. To drink your sorrows, to drink yourself to sleep because of your trauma. You can say, hey, I can see where you're manipulating me, you trauma, and I'm going to try and just have a new story in my life, man.
Yeah, at least that weight of a trauma, you can give it to God, and God can sort of, help you out with the weight, you know what I mean? Yeah, but it's quite interesting because you mentioned that some of the ladies, they get caught at the airport, but some, they actually don't get caught at the airport. Can you imagine? So a guy from Pretoria would send a lady or manipulate a lady so that they go to Brazil, get the drugs, then come back with a large number of drugs. Then those drugs, they sell them around the town, or rather just send it to the township. It's like an ecosystem that is happening within the drug world.
Yeah.
Sure, it's a crazy world, eh?
Yeah. And then again, you take it back. I love the name of this podcast, Justify.
Yeah.
Tell me the meaning behind that name. It's a dope name.
I was trying to look for a name that is affiliated with my name as well. So my name is Justice.
Wow.
So I wanted to give people a voice that have been seeking justice.
Wow.
But I couldn't name it Justice because I just tried to move away from my name a little bit. So I was like, maybe if I get people who just justify whatever that they've been going through. But the hidden agenda behind is justice for all. Do you know what I mean? So that's when I just
brother.
jumped to Justify.
Yeah.
So it's Justify, hosted by Justice. But the goal is to give justice to people. Obviously, it's not the justice that you would get in a court, whatever, but it's a justice that you would get from a platform.
But you're doing just that, because I think by me sharing what I shared today about the drug world, you know, it gives justice to me. The drug world really had me. Now I can sit here and say, look, this is where the danger is. You know, just to also give an example, you know, it's a dog-eat-dog world. So if you're going to clean up the streets and take the drugs to the system, like the cops, and the cops bring it back to the streets, where's the justice there? It's just a vicious circle of what's going on. It's not like back in the day when somebody wanted to say, I'm going to be a doctor because I love healing people. I'm going to be a policeman because I want to protect our streets and stuff like that. Right now, people are just doing it for horrible reasons, man. Imagine it's like people obviously want to save and protect the country, but are we doing it to, like, are we putting a blind eye? Are we sweeping the sand? You know what I mean? Like, that's why I said you have to, as an individual, don't look at the government, don't blame the government, don't look at that it's greener, the other guy's got a Louis Vuitton and we're not really really difícil. Hey, but cover your shoes. Those shoes, very nice shoes.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
No, so I just think as an individual, you need to give yourself a new story. Give yourself a new story. I don't think I'd be sitting here, man. My life is amazing. So I worked corporate for a long time and I got retrenched 2020. But I'm telling you, I should have said, wabona COVID, whatever. But God has been so faithful. Just because I simply live by agape love, you must see the favors that come like my way. That's why I'm telling you that God is real, because the way that I'm living, this good life that I'm living now, just because I simply chose to like have faith in God. My days is where I help people. I try and help people where I can. I mean, you must look at my phone. People know that I'm not working, but still you are calling me, I'm hungry. But I'm like, happy that lost money, send it to that person. And favor will locate you. The one time I was driving, there's an old lady in the rain. I don't want to say all the good deeds that I do, but you know when you have agape love, and that's God. God just gave you one rule. Love one another like I have loved you. Now, because of my love for people, I got taken advantage of and I was molested when I was a kid. But like God's wrath. People always say, but Happy, how do you just forgive so easy? I'm like, God's wrath is something else. It's nothing. I could easily go and say, boom, when I'm molested. But I'm not going to do that stuff because I know God's wrath is worse. I even feel sorry for people that hurt good people. I'm like, yo, you don't know what you're doing. So I simply want to say this, that you have to really trust God. Trust God. Even if it's looking dim, trust God, because you're saying, Happy, it's easier said than done. Why would I be talking about this, God, if I'm telling you my situation? There's a lot of hectic things that's happened my way, but God has been a good God. Like, if I can tell you, I don't even want to say the glory and how good God has been in my life. Just some people can be low-key jealous, but hey, I'm the one that's getting up and worshiping God and trusting God. So stop questioning God. I don't know, black folk, we you know, someone said to me yesterday, it's like, I'm not a Christian, but I'm an African man. I'm like, that's power, what you just said now. African men, you know how the men are the enemy is after the men.
True.
Ausna vanna jo, indota is gone. I don't know what's going on. The enemy is whispering things into the man's mind. Sure. Women want to be men and men want to be women. Masculinity is being swapped around. Bona, it's a movie here in this world, bro. You got to be sober-minded. We're doing a lot. Black child, you're doing a lot. Some girls want to be baddies. You know, watch that baddies, whatever baddies. There's a baddies thing that's going on there, and these girls want to be baddies.
It's a TV show.
Emana. All they do is that they have this girl that's leading them and she's a pimp, right? She's pimping them, basically. All they do is basically... How many fights have you gone into, Justice? How many fights have you been physically?
Probably maybe 9, if I'm not mistaken.
9.
Yeah.
I have a lot of guys that say 2 or 1, and I'm like, oh, you good. That's so cool.
No, we used to have a different life, man.
Exactly.
And we thank God for changing us. I mean,
Exactly.
I wonder where would I be by now if maybe I continued with that life. There are things that we went through, and I can't even imagine if it wasn't God, we were not going to be here today. Yeah.
Bro, I still suffer from I get triggered. That's why I don't do public spaces. But I'm in the potter's hands. It's where I'm from, the world that I'm from. And imagine now being from that world, and now you have to live in society. That's why I like Mike Tyson. Like he's trying to be normal. You know what I mean? And I'm also trying to be in society. People will not know the details of the worlds that we come from. I can't even count the fights that I've been. And it's not fighting with women or naturally just saying, I want to get into a fight. It's really, this head has been, dude, I've been in a lot of physical fights. My whole life I've been fighting. You know what I mean? So that's why be careful of people. You need to choose your friends correctly, because people are they judge you. Once you out of that world, then okay, we get some more betere. Once you speak of the Lord, then we get some more betere. Just choose your friends. You don't need to be a sheep. Just getting back to that whole baddie thing. Then I don't know why. I think they came to South Africa, and you could see this. So obviously, I don't know how the production works. It's like, okay, we come into South Africa. South Africa being South Africa, it's like, come through. Yeah, then there's this innocent Zulu girls that were doing the Zulu dance for them. I think they went to a place to show Africa, and they're doing this beautiful Zulu dance. And then obviously those baddies get out of character and they start fighting with each other. But I read people and body language very well. So I looked at those girls. So in their head, these girls, the production probably said, there's going to be some Americans coming through, just do your Zulu dance and whatever. But I saw the fear of these girls looking at these girls just fighting each other.
Yeah.
What are we agreeing to pollute Africa?
Yeah.
We're just agreeing to everything to pollute.
What are you teaching these girls? I mean,
exactly.
Those are young girls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The other day I looked at my nephew or my niece's picture. And I said to my niece, she has a daughter. Limpopo, they petty village girl manners. She was showing the peace sign and she had her tongue out. I said, why does she have her tongue out like that? Well, where is she copying that? But the way she had it, but she sees on TV, that's what they do. So do you understand? It's just that we're leaving our morals so much, and we're copying things that
everything. We just copy everything. We don't discern, actually. We never discern. We just take everything and we just apply it in our lives.
Come on, guys. There's a reason why we got oppressed for so long. We carry so much. Black man, start going back to God, because we need you. Roya guy, where are we going to go? We need to look up to you. You need to look up to God. We need you. You're doing too much. You're doing the most. We love you guys. We see you. We know it's hard, but just get back. We need to all get back to God.
Somebody was saying this to me. He was saying that if men are lost, everybody's lost.
Facts.
The craziest saying ever. If men are lost, everybody's lost. We need to get men to focus. If those guys are lost, if we are, including myself, if I'm lost, my lady's lost, my entire family's lost.
Do you know that now I'm doing your job, basically?
Imagine.
Let me give you an example. If you go through my phone, it's just young guys reaching. Auntie Happy, can I please talk to you? Sis, I was Happy, can I please talk to you? Sis Happy, can I please talk to you? Now I must be there for this broken child, this 20-something-year-old, this whatever. And you need to... you need to have really discernment, and you need to be spending a lot of the work that I do, how kids are so broken out there, and it's the male counterpart. So that's what I'm saying. And what women is doing, be very careful. Now these young men know that they can go to older women. But you are breaking, woman, stop. Stop trying to feed your ego by thinking that a younger guy that's coming to you, selling himself, basically, that's what they're doing. Guys, this thing is becoming huge now. Younger kids are falling for older women and they're sleeping with them. What are you doing sleeping with this young child? You were supposed to giving motherly wisdom to that child. That's what I do. When these kids, if I was still in the world, I would have fallen many times. I'm a 28-year-old chama boy, whatever. But you're like, happy. You can either break this young man that does not have a father figure, or you can truly give this young man the motherly wisdom that we need. So men, come on, these kids are broken. These young kids are broken. These young men are broken. They need to look. I was thinking, Papa kage page, it's all in Bob.
Okay.
And I was thinking, it was Kukuni. And I went back there. Full on. I went back there and I was like, all the older generation is gone. There's just young people here. They're drinking, they're partying. There's no anyone that can give any wisdom to anybody. So where's this world going to be? Where are we going to be? That's why as an individual, we need to get out. Otherwise, I told you I was young. Just the other day, I was young. Now, I'm a mom. Ke mama. And then I'm going to be older, and then you leave this world, and what have you accomplished? Stay sober.
Yeah. Do you think maybe social media also plays a role? I mean, earlier on, we spoke about you having to go through reels for hours and hours. Surely, maybe if there's a reel that you just came across and you don't like, you just pass through, you know what I mean? But there's a young guy somewhere in Malamulele, in KwaMashu, in Rustenburg, or maybe in the Cape Flats. When they go through that reel, surely they come across this young girl who's maybe, let me just say, maybe half naked, or maybe soft porn is being displayed on their phone.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe also that plays a role in damaging these young men?
Good question. I was speaking to a young man that wanted to see me, okay? So he said, he's 24, okay? And he said to me, he's like, so not to get too much in what he was saying, but his issue was like, he's starting to look at men, and he was straight. So I'm like, okay. That's why, guys, there's no time to be playing around. You can be selling your soul, and the devil could be playing with you without you even realizing. That's why stay sober, man. Open those eyes. You want to be too woke for my liking. Anyway, so he says that he started looking at guys in a different eye. So I said, okay, maybe there's some doors that you were opening without realizing. Have you ever seen like men porn, like gay? No, I haven't. Have you ever looked at? Yes, I have. And then I said, okay. He says, but sometimes they do, like you said. So they do show the gay, but I quickly swipe. I'm a grown-up, right, as I am. I do not watch any sex scenes as grown-up as I am. If there's any, even kissing, that's why I say, like, it's so important to have a father figure. Even though my dad was strict, I still live by my dad's principles and morals. There's stuff now at my age, I'm like, hey, I'm not watching or speaking like this. People are talking about sex loosely now. So anyway, so he says that, no, he saw the gay thingy and then he just swiped it quickly, right? But you already saw it. The other day, I was trying to watch TV and then I just saw like, I could see that this is like a gay scene and these guys are going to have intercourse live on TV. Imagine if my kid was there. That's what they're showing. And you're right about social media. It's a problem. So by him swiping, he already saw the man. That's like taboo for us. Imagine your mind not knowing about a man having intercourse with each other. And it's because you swiped, you quickly saw it. So already it's left a seed. There are seeds that can be left in your mind without you even thinking that the seed is opening a portal.
Yeah. And I'm saying this because it's quicker to learn when you're seeing pictures compared to when you're reading
Facts.
And at the moment in this generation, people are now seeing pictures. Social media is a world of pictures. It's not a world maybe it's like 20% reading, but 80% is a world of pictures.
Yeah.
It's a world of videos. So can you imagine what that does to the mind if you're just scrolling and you see maybe a half-naked lady and you're a 13-year-old boy?
Exactly.
That is
Exactly.
quite crazy, man.
Yeah. You know what? Just quickly, my brother, this is scary. So obviously, the one time I was working, I just came back from work and I was tired. I was staying in Acadia. And there was this young white boy. I think he's 13 or 14. I didn't think anything of it, right? I'm just thinking, sometimes if I was in the world, I'd be in so much trouble, right? So he knocks and he comes in, but I'm so tired from work. So I'm like, not paying attention. I'm sitting on the couch, right? But I was also very small build. I was always tiny. So I looked younger than my age always. I always looked younger than what I actually am. I promise you, it caught me off guard. So I'm lying like this. I think I was watching something. And I felt like asleep. And this kid came and had his hand and he was going like for my breast. So when I woke up, I saw what he was doing. This is a 13-year-old. That's why I'm saying, parents, be careful where your kids are. If I was bad and I was saying, okay, I got molested, now I'm going to molest this kid, I got such a fright. I took him and I threw him out the flat. Imagine I was still doing drugs then, I was still partying, and I was still... So do you see that how much of leaving your home, what these kids get exposed to? Where did that kid learn that you need to do that? What if I was a bad somebody and took advantage of that kid? So yeah, it's just really, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and we need men to give advice. We need women to sober up. So these young ladies, I mean, even young ladies are coming to me by numbers. My mom, I can't take care of my mom. I'm looking after my mom because my mom just wants to be with different boyfriends all the time. You know?
Yeah, it's a mess out there, Happy, you know. We lack fathers who are going to groom young men. I grew up without a father. My father, I knew my father, but at some point he passed on and he wasn't there. And today I'm a grown-up man and I'm married, and I had to teach
Well done.
myself
Bravo.
how to be a man. Can you imagine? And as much as my mom
Wow.
had to teach me there and there, but she can't fully teach me how to be a man. She's a woman. She can teach my sisters how to be a woman. I needed a male figure. And that's when my uncles had to jump in and teach me, this is how you do things. This is how you treat a woman. To tell you about myself, I also grew up in a family whereby my dad used to physically abuse my mom. And I had to make a decision that, am I going to become the same man as this man?
Exactly.
Or I'm going to become a different man? Because I was a little bit attached to my mom, I was a child. I was like, I don't want to become like this man. I want to be the man that protects this woman. I want to be a man that protects women. Do you understand? So I chose the role of being a protector than just the perpetrator, as an example. So it's quite crazy how some men, they visually see things and then they take it and apply it on themselves. And now we have violent men in here. You know, anything that would happen, they just want to fight. It's not all the time whereby we need to solve issues with the fight. But South Africa is in a mess.
Wait, can I just pause? Can I applaud you for the man that you are? You said you're married now.
Yeah.
Let's not go past that. I just want to applaud you, my brother. Wow, I am inspired. I see the glow up, especially like you said, I could have done exactly what he did. And a lot of people are saying it. Black men are saying, my father wasn't there, so why must I be there for my kid?
Yeah.
You know? So for me, how come you had the wisdom to make that choice and the other person has the wisdom to say, not the wisdom, but the naivety to say that, no, this is how we're going to do it. Don't worry about me taking care of my own.
And I was young. Can you imagine? I wasn't even an adult. I was probably doing grade, maybe standard 3, if not standard probably standard 3, and I had to make a decision.
Abaitsi standard. Standard.
And you
grade
know,
3.
Grade 3, yeah, abaitsi grade 3, but standard 3. That's grade 6, if I'm not mistaken, or grade 5.
Dude, I still get lost. I don't know.
So I get standard 3 at the time, and that decision came with trauma. And I had to decide, what kind of a man am I going to become? Can you imagine? I never had a positive example in my household. I could have looked at the uncles, the aunties, but I'm seeing this guy who's an abuser, and I'm like, no, I don't want to become like this guy. So it took time for me to sort of decide what kind of a man that I'm going to become, maybe like career-wise, whatever. But I definitely knew that I don't want to become like this man, a man who hurts people, a man that when he comes and you can hear the gate opening, everybody's just frightened. No. So I think South Africa at the moment is in a mess. And a lot of people are not aware.
No. They've just normalized it like it's fine the way it is. And some are not aware. We're not aware.
And you know, it's great to maybe go on the streets and protest against violence. It's great. But the truth is that some of these seeds are not on the streets. They are inside people.
Exactly.
And they've grown. And I think that sometimes this mess is not a physical mess. It is a spiritual mess.
Facts.
The enemy has taken over.
100. And also, if you think about it, South Africa was the last country to be colonized in Africa. Why? Because us, we pray. So there's something special about South Africa. I get to travel abroad. I get to travel abroad. Look at God's favor. And I always want to come back to South Africa. Always. Because there's something that God really has anointed this country. So let's not be trapped or be fooled. And like you said, you know, some of them could be naive. We are telling you, get out of that sleep. You are saying it, I'm saying it.
Yeah.
We can't be babies feeding people anymore. Men, go back to God. So people like me, your kids, we can all look up to you that's looking up to God. So men, get back to God. Get back to God. We're doing too much of other spiritualities. What do you mean you're an African man? Yes, an African man should have the wisdom that God is real. Don't tell me about the universe. You believe in the universe. Emina, who created that universe? Think bigger, man. Think bigger than that. I'm telling you that I'm living a life. How? How does it make sense? How? Because I chose to believe that God is real because I've seen it in my life. But people are just like, okay, so they say. But you haven't given God, you've given religion a chance. That's what you've done. You've given churches a chance, but you haven't given the relationship with God. People blame God for things that God didn't even do. Humans did that. We are mean to each other. We're very mean and ugly to each other. What is your motive? Don't you know how to agape love? My brother, I can look at you. I'm just like admiring you. I'm loving your shoes. Korbana, Odessa, glow up is on another level. I'm admiring your heart, Justice. What you just said about you have a family now. You're wearing your wedding ring there. Listen, you come from trauma. Why did you rise up? Why did you rise up? Why did I rise up? You think I don't want to live a worldly life still? No. It's beautiful than what you think being in God. It's beautiful than what you think being in God. You know? We need to wake up, South Africa. Africa, we need to wake up. The world, we need to wake up. White, black, let's unite. Let's try not to use each other. That's what we're doing. We're using each other. Then we want to say the white is a racist, the black is a racist. Well, let's talk about tribalism. Emina, hanga wuzisa no umuzulu. Yo, ay, mazulu, ay, Ulipedi, yo, lavender. Like, we just box people. We put them there. Oh, you Capricorn. Oh, you what? No, dude, just love one another. Love one another as I've loved you, says the Lord. If that person doesn't reciprocate, The same way you move on. God did say, listen, if the person wants to continue to act a fool, dust yourself by the door and move on and go give your love somewhere else.
Tribalism, I bereke mo modimo.
Exactly.
If the men are lost, happy. If the men are lost, can you check the rape stats, violence stats?
Imagine.
I mean, like at the moment, when did we get to a level? I'm sure in your time, probably in the 90s, you'd hardly hear about a rape.
No, so. Exactly. That's deep. That's so deep. Rape is such a big thing. And I was thinking about the rape itself, like without getting graphic. What are you doing? Man, what are you doing? Are you mad? Are you mad? What are you doing? You're taking somebody from their rightful rights and you're doing this, you're violating that woman like that, that child like that. What kind of darkness is that? You weren't born to do that. You were not born to do that. African man, you are so great. Wow. Hey? Bona Justice is a king. You can be a king. You can. They just want to go jiggy, double up.
But how happy? King, maybe motho a kono shela, a kono fasa ka spitori. Biang.
Yeah, like you said, being naive is a thing. That's why you said the man needs to teach, okay, this is where you're going wrong. So a lot of them, you don't blame them. They don't know. They simply don't know. I mean, like you said, the kids are coming, the kids, Boma 2000, they're like, oh, drugs. They think drugs, black people been taking drugs. I'm like, hey, just the other day, black people weren't taking drugs. I was there, guys. Don't let people lie with history. I was there. Black people were not taking drugs. Me, I started taking drugs. Don't blame me. Blame my situation at that time. And then Vurvu, 2 years later, my people taking drugs. My people raping.
Do you have kids?
Yes, beautiful kids.
Do you want more?
If I could, I would have 10. I would adopt.
Are you not scared of bringing...
Sorry?
Are you not scared of bringing kids in this world with the things that are happening in South Africa?
I'm so happy you told me this. Oh, praise the Lord. So I know people are not given opportunities because a woman has to go work. Ayopanda. But I think what saved me is that the minute that God is so amazing. The minute that I had my children, I left everything that pleases me. I sacrificed to focus on my children. So I was given the privilege to be there at home for my children while I was also financially stable. I know it's impossible. I know that we need to work.
It's possible.
That's why there are rules. But we're not that's going to be another debate of its own. I get it, there's a lot of independent women, so I'm sorry.
It's a different topic, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different, no, let's not even go there. But what worked for me, to be honest, I'm very grateful that God opened doors for me to make time for my children. So instead of me being on my phone and phoning my girlfriend, are we going to Rocket? I'm like, no, let me be with my children. Be present with your children as a mother. Because then you'll know when you open the door of the bedroom of your child, the child is not watching porn. Because your child is with you. You are busy drinking wine in the lounge. To some guy. You are not present with your kid, and your kid is doing what? So I think as women, we should just wait for your child, especially when they're a certain age, when they're like from 0 to 10. Focus on your child. You had your time. You had your time. You had your time. Now you have a child. Focus on the child. So if the child goes left or right, you can say, but I know I did my best. You know you didn't do your best because you left your child with the nanny. When I was at Rocket, and then you went with your different 10 boyfriends.
Get time for myself.
No, you had the time for yourself. I disagree. You had the time for yourself. If you want to have time for yourself, why are we doing it every day? Oh, these children are left to their own demise. They are left to their own demise. And I know people are going to come at me, but I'm sorry. And that's why my child, She's done with school now. And the way I got her, it's another testimony on its own. He's still in prison now. So I could have said, yo, this child is going to be like me and the father. You know what I mean? Just gangster background, thug life and whatever. I'm talking about a child that's such an amazing child. When I drive her, drop her off at school, she's busy reciting her exams. She gets in the 80s, 90s, very well-mannered. Why? Because I thought, okay, Happy, it's not about you. Focus on the child. Your time will come. It's not that deep. Now she's now old enough. She's done with school. Now mommy can start doing what she want to do. You have that kid, focus on the child. That's just my opinion, and it's worked for me. Now, I don't have a child. Imagine me, my mom was looking for me. When I was 12 years old, I was in the clubs. My mom's looking for me. I'm gone for a year. I've disappeared from the house. Get down, I get jadi drugs. My mom's looking for me. Is it my mom's fault? She had to go work. That's just the cards that was given to you. So how come my child doesn't have the same how come I didn't have to go be looking for my child? Oh, where is she? What clubs is she in? My child is at home. Kiki, please, my baby, go with your friends. No, mom, I'm good. Huh? I can say now that she's never stressed me out. Because why? Because I asked God to guide me. Because if you don't have God as a mother or a father, you will never have the Holy Spirit as to how you have to raise these children in this generation. Palana come from Tupac and Biggie, right? It's so different. These kids come and talk to you about like sex, and you cringe because we 80s kids and 90s kids, no, 80s kids and 70s kids, we come from like a hectic genre because we're coming from like when apartheid ended, and we're coming from to like when computers was like a thing. So we know how it is to like have manners and principles, and we also know how to have like a good time, right? So now, if you having children, a mother from the 90s, they came when it was already rough. So I don't blame them either, because they have no woman. Like I said, the older generation, they're gone, the ones that have wisdom. Now they're so troubled. Down about roha, they'll swear to go roha. Yay, go kante.
Ish, yeah.
So it's tough. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, brother. I think the only way that you can have wisdom is the Holy Spirit.
True. No, man, thank you. I think
You're welcome.
you have wisdom yourself.
I try. Look, I'm still a mess, but I'm God's mess. So
I think, you have experience in life.
that's it.
Obviously, you're working in your own journey. You've smoked drugs. And somebody would ask themselves, how were you able to sort of move away from drugs? Did you go to like rehab?
I went cold turkey.
In Turkey?
So my daughter's the one that saved my life. So the minute I found out that I was pregnant with my daughter, I was like, Happy, are you going to carry on being a gangster's paradise? Or are you going to, this child that's inside of you, are you going to just give life a chance? When I found out that I was pregnant, I was like, you know what, that's it. So my baby saved my life, basically. I stopped everything, like right there. Last time I had a sip of alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, was 2007.
Wow. Wow, it's over probably 20 years now.
Yeah.
Over 20 years.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you.
Well done.
You. Do I still dream about, even now, 20 years later, I dream about rock. And that's how people relapse. And I need to tell you, whoever's dealing with addiction, when you clean, I know you dream a lot about it. So it feels like you are using. So you get up in the morning, it was such a good dream, you go and use again. Just know it's a trap from the enemy. Stay sober.
Sure, you dream about it.
Yes, I go through sadness. I have a good life, but I go through melancholy. I'm not supposed to be wearing braces. I have beautiful teeth. Me in my head, I thought, I've tried gum guards, everything. I bite myself a lot, like I grind myself, just because of PTSD. I'm quite tense. I do that to my hands because I've been through a lot of torture in my life. Like I've had a hard life. So there's just the things that I've experienced that I still have habits of doing. So I thought maybe if I get braces, I will stop myself from grinding, but it hasn't stopped. So there are still certain habits. That's why you need to be fragile and soft with people, man. It's not easy, this thing. Don't be quick to judge, you know? And the other day I dreamt about smoking rock. I was like, whoa.
When was it? This year?
Yes, just the other day. Imagine 20 years later. And that's how I beat it. So when you wake up in the morning, because the first thing I do is look to God. Like I'm constantly with God. I cannot my brother, I cannot afford to be out of God's will. And right now, if I was out of God's will, I will do so many worldly things. You wouldn't believe this is the happy that you know. I can go really dark and really bad, like proper. So that's why I need God's will all the time. If I didn't have God and I had the dream, what are you talking about? I don't care if I'm 30 years clean. I phone the dealer. So the reason that stops me from not phoning the dealer is because my love for God, because God has been so good to me.
So you wake up and you pray about it and then you just get over it.
I just remember God's love, like, and what God brought me out. I'm like, yo, no ways, you're kidding me. Even though it's nice, the feeling is nice, but I'm like, you are kidding me. No. I'm a child of God, and it's fine. Let's say I'm feeling sad or melancholy. I'll feel melancholy in God. I'll be fine. I'm not going to drink.
So it's like even if you're on the other side, which is the good side, the enemy still calls you, hey, come back.
Yes, all the time. What are you talking about? Remember Paul said, I try to do good, but I do bad. I try to do good, but I do bad. This is Paul. What more me? I'm not thoughts that are funny thoughts, man. If I didn't have God, I'd be in a mess by now. Like, for real. I could be so happy, God showing everything and displayed, and I can just go wrong turn. But because I've seen and tasted the goodness of God, I'm like, even sometimes if I do open a door and I see like, hey, B, you are doing too much now. I always have the Holy Spirit. Imagine not having the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit is important.
I think your deliverance is still active.
Yeah, always. Till we die.
Yeah, I think it's a process.
Yes.
You know, it's not something that just happened in 2 years. This is shocking to me. I've never seen such a thing after 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, facts. And a lot of clean people can attest to it. That even after 50, why do you think? Imagine couples can be together for 50 years. Next thing, divorce. I thought you were training in this marriage thing. Why are you divorcing, bro? So if I stopped drinking alcohol, Bona Whitney Houston, she stopped for a while. Then people start using it. Watch when people die. They in their 50s. Okay, she died from this, she died from that, but she was clean for so long. Listen, the thing about life is that you are living, you're surviving. The older you get, the more you're like, okay, I survived that. It has its stages. I survived that when I was a kid. Now the trauma is only living now in your 20s. So I used to take party drugs, and I was that party girl, and I was working. Everything was in control. How did I go to the streets in my 20s? How? Because I thought what happened to me as a kid was fine, but it only hits you when you are 20. And the trauma that happens when you're 20 only hits you at a later stage. So you could be getting, now, I know this sounds weird, but it doesn't matter. I sleep with a teddy bear now. I never played with toys. I went and got myself a teddy bear, and I looked at this teddy bear, I said, no one protected you from that pedophile, that molester. I sleep, so that's like a childlike behavior, meaning I'm still stuck from what happened. I'm like, you were not protected as a child from those pedophiles. I'm going to protect you now. And that's what I do. I'm an adult that's protecting that little child. And that's why I'm here today, to tell the youth, narcotics ain't the way, alcohol ain't the way. I know your situation looks bleak, but it's okay. I have siblings, a lot of brothers. That's why I'm a bit of a tomboy as well, right? Most of them are educated, okay? me and my other brother, we were naughty. He died from a drug overdose in the streets, the one that I told you about, the hip-hop artist. But I have a younger brother as well. Me and my brother used to come to the house, Koshibat Park. But we're in the same situation. Me and my brother is doing drugs in the one room. My other brother, he's doing beats and music. Then he has his boys, they go play soccer. Then he comes, he reads the Bible. But do you understand? So you do have a choice. Even though there's le Chile Papa fella, how come this one is saying, I'm not going to do drugs. I'm going to play some music, I'm going to try and be a good kid. I'll go play soccer with the boys. So you do have a choice. So yes, your situation might look dim. Just try and do the right thing. Because sometimes I'm like, Happy, actually, you were fine. You had a roof over your head. You had a roof over your head. It wasn't that deep. Yeah. You were looking too much on the other greener pastures, and that's what got you.
I think what I'm learning from you when you spoke about you having to dream about drugs and you have to wake up in the morning and sort of thank God for your life and understanding or remembering that you are God's child and also you're experiencing agape love as well, is that I think it's a daily exercise to die from your flesh.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Because the drugs are, your flesh is like, it's used to, even if it's like 30 years or 20 years later, it still wants that feeling of nyaobe or cocaine or whatever. But you have to, your spirit needs to kick in and fight back and command your flesh to say, you don't belong there.
Yes.
You belong here.
Yes.
With the Lord.
Yes. Mic drop. You do not belong there. You create a new story every day. You just got to stay in the light. Even though they might look nice, it's false illusion from the enemy to kill you. To kill you. It looks nice, but it's a trap. You got to have the discernment.
And we have to be honest. If you go there, you'll die. You will die if you go there. Remember the word said, if a spirit leaves the body, but if it gets an opportunity to come back, it will come back with more.
Exactly. Exactles.
Now it will be more difficult to take out these spirits from this body. So the moment when you go back there, it's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Sure.
We're talking about father figures and stuff like that. So, I don't know, kids for today, they're doing the most with dating. I don't know, there's situationships and all of that. But I think also men, come on, what's this ego? Why do you need an ego boost? There's no relationship, bro. I'm hearing from these young youth. They're having, I don't know, to court someone, a woman is hectic. They're doing a lot. How are you going to take a poor girl and just lie to this girl and go sleep with 5 women just to give yourself that ego boost? You are killing yourself with those spirits from that girl. But they don't get it. And the thing is that they're going to perform that act and they're going to say, I just wasted my time here. But the act is performed already. And now you've hurt the poor female that needed to look at you. I know I'm female. There are times when I can see, the person is a chama boy. Women do think like that as well. They want to come act special and stuff like that. But like you said, do I want to be a sister to this man? Or do I want to be a mother to this kid? Or do I want to use my flesh? Men, you should do the same. Brother, these women need you as their brothers. You know how much, dude, I have a lot of guy friends. Guys are funny. If they're in their safe spaces, I know girls like to say they like their safe spaces. If a man is in their safe spaces, you're busy with your masculine energy. Oh, too much words is happening now. But if you keep a man safe and you love him really with agape love, wow, magnifique. So same vice versa. Men, don't play with these young ladies. You don't know. It's very heartbreaking. I hear the stories. It's crazy. Get it in that. Oh, I choose this one, I choose that one, I choose this one.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
I think what kills a lot of men is lust.
Women also have lust, but
Yeah.
they're not saying it.
Yeah, true, 100%.
Stop blaming men for everything. Woman,
Yeah.
lead the fabs. Get the fabs. Even a proper one. You don't know what it's spirituality. You're supposed to be a healer, but now this person is coming to you to be healed, but you are sexualizing everything. Lust is a thing, man. I know girls that are still virgins and they're doing crazy stuff at night, but that's a different subject on its own.
Right, let's roll sexualize everything beyond social media, everything. Happy social media, hey, diavoya.
So why are you being weak? So no, nagis do juju. I go over to the chama boy, the buyer, but why am I like no happy? Be who you are as a sister. Why? Why? You think I'm made out of steel? No, like you said, don't go there. So if you're seeing social media, remove, retreat. Go look at something, go work out or something. Go read scripture. Go take a hike. Don't open that pothole. Don't. Social media, don't. Social media is a lie on the first place. Liars. That girl that you're seeing, filter on levels. And then on Mona Life. That's why sometimes me, when I put pictures, like people always say, women like to say, so how old do you think I am? You're 40, you look 40, you are 40, you're 35. A lot of people always think I'm young. Like, what's up with you? Embrace who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, social media is a lie. Like, sit down, chill. And that's what we've done. Instead of going to restaurants, and I used to do that. My kids used to not like that because they don't like photos. I got 2 children, right?
Yeah.
So first thing I want to do is status. Like, you're not even embracing to see the beautiful place that God, let's say you're going out to a lodge or whatever. First thing, I'm thinking, they're going to see where I am. I used to do that a lot, vlogging everything. By the time you come back, you didn't even see there was a snake that just went past you. Whatever.
Yeah,
because you want to show people this life. You didn't even enjoy with your kids. You didn't. And now I'm starting to happy, relax. We understand God's done amazing stuff for you, but wow, tone it down. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're trying to show people what? And the same person that's showing you all these amazing things, I'm not saying it's wrong, but we can overdo it. It's fine to take a picture, send you showing, but to be thinking about it constantly. You know what I mean? And in the meantime, you didn't even enjoy what you needed to do. But anyway, each to their own.
A lot of us, we fail to enjoy the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
So the impact of social media and our smartphones is just crazy.
Yeah.
And yes, we can use the smartphones in a positive way to make money, whatever, right? But we need to figure out when to use them and when not to use them.
Exactly.
So that's how it is, yeah. But thank you, Happy.
You're welcome.
You're
very welcome.
I think it was a great conversation.
Oh, very welcome. Thank you for allowing me to be on the space, brother. One love.
Yeah.
May favor locate you. May God protect your beautiful. Do you have children?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
May God protect you and your beautiful marriage. I'm proud of you, brother.
Yeah. I see you've got a tattoo here. I don't know what's written
Holy
there.
Spirit, guide me.
Okay.
To be honest, I wish I didn't have tattoos. To be honest, let's just,
Is it something that you realized later on?
Yes, yeah. I'd be nice if I was plain Jane, but this is my testimony. This is part of it. I don't regret, but I feel like women in general, di tuga, personally, it's a revelation to myself.
Oh, nice.
I'm okay without tattoos, eh?
Do you want to remove them?
No, I'm not removing them because then I don't have a testimony. Because then people well, now you look like someone that party, and then I tell them about the Lord. So this was meant to be. But if I had a choice, I don't think as a woman, already you then get put on a box, in a box. Yeah. But this is me. This is my story. You know what I mean? Everybody comes to me, Happy, I love your tattoos. I love you. I'm like, that's the thing. You guys like too much. You like too much. You don't know why I have these things on my body. And my first tattoo I did when I was 12, Robbie Clausen, biggest Satanist in Pretoria, did my tattoos. You're allowing people to chop you. You don't know what spirits they're putting on you. And even the type of tattoos that you ask for. I have mermaids and all satanic what. I had to anoint them and, ask God's, to remove anything that is like of dark. Yeah, man, it's life. You learn, you grow. Just guys, stop copying. Just you are so unique as yourself.
Yeah.
The first time I saw you, I just started laughing. You know why? Because you have that. You're like, no, man, this, the motive here is pure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're telling me that I look funny.
I stopped, Joe. And you are funny. You're very funny.
I'm a calm guy.
Yeah.
I'm not. We talk about things that are serious.
Yeah.
But we can't always cry.
Yeah.
At some point, we need to come back and just laugh. Not laugh about the moment, but laughter is good for your emotions. It's also good for your mind.
Aren't you jealous of my name? Yeah, I love my name, mate. Thanks, Dad.
I'm going to tell you, there's somebody who's very much close to me. They have the same name as you. But I'll tell you after we're done here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Salute. I will.